Now, people often find the Jefferson and Sally Heming relationship troubling because she was a slave and he was the master. To me, what makes it more disturbing is that they technically were related. She was his sister-in-law.
The nature of their relationship is a matter of historical debate, but it is clear that Hemings was in a position of extreme powerlessness and vulnerability as a slave. The fact that Hemings was Jefferson's sister-in-law is also significant. Hemings was the half-sister of Jefferson's wife, Martha Wales Jefferson, and her relationship with Jefferson was therefore further complicated by their familial connection. Some historians have pointed out that the Hemings-Jefferson relationship was not uncommon in the context of slavery, where white male slaveholders frequently engaged in sexual relationships with their female slaves. However, this does not diminish the fact that the relationship was inherently exploitative and abusive due to the power imbalance between Hemings and Jefferson. Ultimately, the Hemings-Jefferson relationship raises important questions about consent and power dynamics in relationships, particularly in the context of slavery.
A question that is often asked is, why didn't she try to flee when Jefferson brought her to France? She wasn't a slave there.
There are a few possible reasons why Sally Hemings may not have fled when Jefferson brought her to France. One reason could be in that she was already in a complex power dynamic with Jefferson, who was not only her owner, but also the father of her children. She may have felt a sense of obligation to him, or perhaps she believed that staying with him would be the best way to ensure her children's safety and future. Additionally, as a woman of color in a foreign country, she may have faced significant challenges in finding safety or support outside of Jefferson's protection. It's also important to note that the extent of Hemings's agency and decision-making in her relationship with Jefferson is still a matter of debate among historians. Some argue that her relationship with Jefferson was coerced or abusive, while others suggest that there may have been a degree of mutual affection and consent involved. Regardless of the specifics of her situation, it's clear that Hemings existed within a system of power and oppression that severely limited her options and agency.
Well, it is interesting to note that being mixed race, how she would be treated could vary.
Yes, that's true. In many cases, mixed-race individuals were treated differently depending on their appearance and how much African ancestry they had. Some people with lighter skin and more European features were sometimes able to pass as white and avoid some of the discrimination that black people faced, while others with darker skin and more African features were more likely to be discriminated against. Additionally, social and cultural norms could also vary between different places and times, which could affect how mixed-race individuals were perceived and treated.
Well, it depended on the time and place in America. Some places it was incentivized for slave owners to have offspring with their slaves, as that was seen as raising the price on them when they go to sell them. In other times, they were given more leniency as they were considered half-white.
Yes, that's true. The treatment of mixed-race individuals varied depending on factors such as time, place, and social norms. In some cases, mixed-race individuals were given slightly better treatment than full-blooded slaves, while in others they were subjected to even more harsh treatment and discrimination. This highlights the arbitrary and unjust nature of racial classifications and the detrimental impact of slavery on individuals and society as a whole.
Sometimes they were given more harsh punishment because they were a reminder of adultery.
Yes, that is a possibility as well. Mixed-race children born of masters and slaves were seen as evidence of sexual relations between the two, which could be seen as adultery if the master was married. In some cases, masters may have punished the mixed-race children more harshly as a way to distance themselves from the shame of adultery.